G'day guys, welcome back to another video on My Blue Heaven. I know hindsight is a wonderful thing, it really is. And looking back in the rear vision mirror at wrong decisions, yeah, you can beat yourself up about them. There's no doubt about that. But in my mind, we are suffering at the moment in a key part of the game, which we thought when it was being built, particularly bringing in players from other clubs, that we were building something pretty special. And who knows? Maybe this group of midfielders we've got right here, right now, will take us all the way to premiership number 17. Who knows? But there's no doubt in my mind that there is a distinct lack of speed and power in this midfield group, which is being exposed, particularly against the good sides and particularly against sides who have that speed and have that power and can break away from stoppages. And not just one player, and it doesn't just have to be one player in the midfield, it can be a half-back flanker or a high half-forwards or on the wing. There's no doubt that we have some exceptional gut runners, hard-running wingers, but not with great foot speed, and we've got a workman-like midfield with a gut-running gun in Sam Walsh, who's not bad at covering the ground, but more contest to contest. And we are, on a week-to-week basis against the really good teams, are being exposed. And I think the period through drafting, when Stephen Silvani was at the club, particularly 2016, 2017, I think we got Walsh in 2018, is that correct? Which was, pick number one. But the 2016, 2017, after we went big in 2015, which we nailed, is really coming back to bite us right here, right now. And it's been exposed. It was exposed particularly against Sydney and Collingwood. And then watching that game last night between the Western Bulldogs and the Sydney Swans. And, I get a text message off Mark Alvey, who played league football for both the Western Bulldogs and Essendon. Great footy mind. Carlton supporter. He texts me towards the end of the first quarter. Fuck, mate, we could have had Ed Richards at our football club. We took Lockie O'Brien instead. And the funny thing was, I was thinking exactly the same thing since Ed Richards has gone into the midfield for the Bulldogs and has been outstanding. And look, it's early days for him in there, but he's been a very good player, very consistent player, played over 100 games now, 25 years of age, beautiful kick of the football. And you look at his draft profile at that time, from the experts who follow these youngsters, it is hurting us. And he's not the only one. And there were other clubs who've made mistakes as well. But in regards to, I think, the key ingredient in our midfield that is missing is that. And I don't think it can be rectified at all this year. It really can't. And I don't think it can be even rectified at the mid-season draft. I just don't think there's good enough players to be picked up in the mid-season draft who can come in. Potentially there is. Maybe Nick Austin's got someone in mind with some power, with some speed, who can use the ball well. Because it's not just blokes who've got pace and can break away from stoppage like a Paddy Dow, but it's actually blokes who can use the football as well. So speed, power, great users. And it's, for some reason, it's something that we've ignored. It's something that we've ignored. It was ignored by Sauce. Maybe not with Paddy Down, but certainly we've gone for the gut runners, the hard runners in the recruiting with Nick Austin, particularly of late. And it's still very early days on Ollie Hollands and Jackson Binns, but they're more gut runners. They cover the ground. But I think the one waiting in the wings that could potentially fix some of these problems is someone like Billy Wilson. If you've seen him play, he's certainly got some speed and he certainly uses the ball very well. So when I look at that 2017 draft, and we weren't the only ones who missed out on Ed Richards, there were a plethora of clubs, including Greater Western Sydney, who took Aidan Bonner at pick 11. Jan, who's been delisted by both the Giants and North Melbourne. Jared Brander, West Coast Eagles, he's been delisted by 2 clubs as well. Matthew Ling. Ironically, it looks like Matthew Ling might be picked up in the mid-season draft, but he got delisted from the Sydney Swans after a couple of years and only 4 games. Brisbane Lions got Zach Bailey, who's a speed machine, very good player. And then the Doggies at 16 got Ed Richards. And we took. I'm not going to talk about Paddy Dow. The fact that North Melbourne took Luke Davies-Uniacke at number 4 when we could have had him, that hurts a little bit. But I think for the right reasons, Paddy Dow did have the speed and that breakaway speed, but he just couldn't use the ball. One of the worst kicks going around. And I think Paddy's a bit of a battler, and that's been proven. He's gone to St Kilda. He's been injured, but I don't think he is necessarily AFL standard. A very good VFL football, but Ed Richards and Lockie O'Brien is just like, wow, you just fucking scratch your head at that, don't you? And I will have a look at Ed Richards' draft profile. I'll put it up there on the screen. And the things that stand out for me are obviously comes from great pedigree, speed, kicking, clearance work and clean hands. And that's been on display since this kid started. As soon as he walked into the AFL system at the Western Bulldogs, he's been a consistent contributor across 6 seasons. Starting across half-back, wins plenty of the ball and just uses it superbly. And like any young player, he's had his ups and downs, had some injuries. I think he broke his ankle in 2021 and he only played 5 games. But since he's gone into the midfield now, you just see a player that you think, fuck, 24, 25 years of age with 100 games under your belt. What would we give to have someone like that as balance in our midfield? And this is no disrespect to Kennedy, Hewitt, Chera, Cripper, Walsh, but we are sluggish. We are so fucking sluggish. It's not funny. And I'll take you just to finish off this, which makes it hurt even more, because Cal Toomey, who's the draft guru and does a phantom draft every year. And the thing that sticks out in my mind with Ed Richards is because when I was following the draft back in 2017, who we would pick, because it was through that period, where Sauce was, accumulating draft picks, and we'd gone tall in 2015, then we picked up SBS, who started okay, and Zach Fisher. And then in 2017, we were going to go midfield again, and there was all this talk about who we were going to get. And there were a few rumours floating around that we might be interested in Lockie O'Brien from memory, but I always follow Cal Toomey's work because he works for the AFL. Yeah, he works for the AFL. He talks to managers, he talks to recruiters, he talks to people. He watches the game, and he watches the APS because Ed Richards played for Carey in the APS, and he had us taking Ed Richards at pick 10. And when I saw that, I thought that'd be great. It's exactly what we need, related to the Richards. He's the grandson of Pie's great Ron Richards, and is he the brother of Lou? It just hurts now, guys, because it's something that we lack, and I don't think it's going to be fixed in a hurry. So it's going to be interesting days moving forward in regards to our lack of speed, particularly through that midfield. Tell me what you think.